The nativity crib scene was back in Doyle's big display window, its wooden figures all present and correct around the tiny manger, painted in old-fashioned colours. Henry remembered it from the year before, and the year before that. The year before that, he'd have been too young to remember. "Look, Henry," his grandmother said. "Isn't that lovely? Look at the shepherd's little lamb there looking at the baby. Oh." "Yes, Nana." "It's so much nicer than some of the modern sets you see now. They don't have proper little figures in them like those, just shapes. That's not very Christmassy, is it?" "Suppose not." "Do you remember that book you had when you were little, the story of the very first Christmas, and you thought it meant that everything in the Bible before that had happened in the same year?" Henry didn't really want to remember things like that, but he knew his grandmother thought it had been sweet of him, so he smiled for her anyway. "Yes, I remember." She chuckled and squeezed his hand. "Your mum says you're in your carol service at school?" "Yes, not in the play bit, though. That's just the littlest kids. I'm in the chorus." "Well, never mind. You like singing, don't you? What's your favourite Christmas carol, then?" "I don't know." His grandmother looked disappointed. "Go on. Yes, you do. It's Away in a Manger you like, isn't it? You going to sing that one?" "Yes, when the three shepherds turn up." "Oh, lovely. Come on then, in we go, shall we?" Henry followed her into the shop. He was relieved to see that the mechanical reindeer's head that had so bothered him the year before wasn't lying in wait for them on the wall just inside the doorway this time. A horrible thing, with rolling goggle eyes and a mouth that lolled open and clacked shut, in time with a robotic voice singing "We Wish You a Merry Christmas" in an American accent. In its place, a large sign with fairy lights blinking around its edge and a cartoon drawing of the beaming face of Father Christmas on it commanded, "Come and meet Santa Claus. 5th to 24th of December on the first floor, only at Doyle's department store." He'd been in two minds, at best, about whether he really wanted to come or not, but his mother had told him firmly not to be difficult. It had been very kind of Nana to offer to take him, she was looking forward to it, and he'd be too old for it next year. So that, to judge by her tone, had settled that. Doyle's had been decked out for Christmas, as it always was in December, with paper chains and clusters of shining baubles hanging from the ceiling. The tables in the gift section were loaded with decorations, wrapping paper, and the kinds of expensive chocolates they never sold at other times of year, and some of the staff were wearing jokey headbands with antlers on them, or bright patterned Christmas sweaters, or both. A Christmas song played over the speaker system, somebody cosily crooning something about children singing Christian rhyme, while nearby a sulky-faced little girl in a sequined turquoise Disney princess outfit stamped her foot pettishly at something her mother said and threw herself on the floor in a fit of temper. "Well, well, well," Nana tutted. "Someone might not be getting a visit from Santa this year. She doesn't watch herself." She smiled down at him. "Should we go and say hello to Auntie Frida first while we're here?" "Okay. Good boy." Auntie Frida worked part-time in the china and glass department. She wasn't really his aunt, just his grandmother's friend. But when his mother and father had split up the year before, and he'd lived with his grandmother for a couple of months, she dropped in to visit once or twice a week, and become an aunt that way. She looked up from tidying a display of boxed wine glasses as they approached, a golden tinsel halo bobbing above her head. "Oh, hello, Joyce, love." "Hello, busy day." Auntie Frida rolled her eyes. "Oh, I've hardly stopped since we opened this morning. We've been rushed off our feet. You'd be surprised. Everyone wants new china this time of year. Should have seen it an hour ago. But you know what they say? Christmas comes but once a year, which is a blessing. And who's this you brought to see me?" "Say hello, then," Nana prompted him. "Hello, Auntie Frida." "Hello, Henry, sweetheart. Gosh, haven't you shot up?" "Yes, he's getting to be a big boy now." I can see. Looking forward to Christmas Day, I bet. Hanging a stocking up for Santa Claus. You all excited? Yes. She winked knowingly. Well, perhaps if you're a good boy, we'll find an extra present for you in there as a surprise. Henry thought she probably meant a box of licorice all sorts. He told her he liked them once, just to be polite, and having to carry on being polite had meant they'd been inescapable ever since. Thank you. You all ready for Christmas then, Frida love? His grandmother asked. Oh, yes, get in there. I've done all my cards. Oh, there's a price for stamps this year. It's wicked. I've only got Jane and the boys left to buy for, and then I'm... Auntie Frida stopped and glanced over at the counter, where a middle-aged couple were more or less patiently waiting to pay for a punch bowl. Sorry, love, I'll have to love you and leave you for now. I'm here on my own until Scott gets back from his lunch hour. Doesn't matter. Give me a tinkle any time. Course I will. Cheerio, then. You be a good boy for your granny, Henry, all right? Yes. And if you can't be good, be careful. Ring you tonight, Joyce. Auntie Frida bustled away. Good afternoon. Did you find everything you were looking for today? Lovely. Right then. Henry's grandmother pulled a puzzled face. What shall we do now? Ooh, I've forgotten what we came for. Now, what was it? We have to go and see Father Christmas, Henry said. Oh, yes. Fancy you remembering that. Come along then. Let's see if he's in, shall we? They took the stairs to the first floor. The song coming from the speakers overhead had changed, and now assured the customers, raucously, that everybody was having fun. But Henry didn't think he'd noticed anyone yet who looked as if they were. Now that they were inside and out of the cold weather, he was feeling over-padded and uncomfortable in his winter clothes, and his woolly hat had started making his head itch. He wished it was all over and done with, and they were back on the bus home in time for tea, and thought longingly of boiled egg and soldiers, jam tarts and fruitcake. Here we are. Oh, what about that then? Nana said, as they arrived at the top of the stairs. She nudged him and pointed. Doesn't it look a picture? Henry looked. The bit that you walked past on your way to electricals, which was normally kept for things like big displays of garden furniture or stalls where people could explain how kitchen gadgets worked, had been fitted out as a snowy outdoor scene, with a sort of big Wendy house in it, painted to look like a fairy tale gingerbread cottage and decorated with spray-on snow, giant red and white candy canes, and many-coloured gumdrops the size of saucers. Beside a glittering artificial fir tree stood a pretty young woman in a Lincoln green elf costume and curly-toed shoes, her pointy plastic ears peeping out from under a hat with a bell on it. Hello, she said in a wide-eyed voice. Have you come to pay a visit to Santa Claus? Yes. Awesome. Have you got your Christmas wish ready? Shh, don't tell me. The elf put her finger to her lips. If you tell anyone except Santa, it might not come true. Yes, no, I haven't told anyone. Good. What's the matter, darling? You're not nervous, are you? Someone's feeling a little bit shy, I think, Nana said. Shy? Oh, you don't need to be shy. Listen. The elf crouched on her heels and took his hands. Santa Claus loves children, all children. You'll see. He's been really looking forward to meeting you. Yes, go on, Henry, Nana urged him. He's waiting. Henry stepped toward the gingerbread cottage, parted the curtain of gold and silver tinsel that hung over the doorway, and went inside. He looked about him. Strings of fairy lights hung around the walls, lighting up the space in rainbow colours, and another string or two sparkled in a tangle among red and gold Christmas tree baubles, heaped up to look like glowing coals, in a mock-up of an old-fashioned fireplace. Over the mantelpiece hung the singing reindeer's head, switched off and silent this time, to his relief, and, sitting in a big fat armchair with a pile of wrapped presents at his side, was Father Christmas himself. Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, little boy! Hello. Merry Christmas. A Merry Christmas it shall be indeed, and a merry old Christmas am I." He was just as Henry had expected, with his crimson-red coat so long that it was almost a robe, the matching pointed cap slightly askew on his mop of curly white hair, and his deep, jolly voice. True, his enormous white false beard looked like a chunk cut out of the sheepskin rug in his mother's bedroom, just as the pile of presents beside him was almost definitely just a pile of empty boxes wrapped up in colourful paper. But that was only to be expected too. Henry had long ago worked it out for himself that it wasn't possible that all the Father Christmases in all the department stores in England could be the same person. Farron Atwood, in the year above him at school, had caused a minor incident a couple of weeks before by letting the youngest children in on it, and, as Mrs. Gibson had sternly put it afterwards, ruining the magic. But there was no reason Henry could see why a man in a costume couldn't be Father Christmas as well, in a way, and he had to hope that he could. "And who's this who's come to see me?" Father Christmas asked. "Why, is this my young friend Henry?" Did he recognise him? Or had he overheard Nana calling him Henry just now? That's right. "I thought so. I remember you from when you came last year. I never forget a face. Bigger now, though. Too big to sit on old Father Christmas' lap, I think." "Yes, maybe. Sorry." "Ho, ho, 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 ho. And what school do you go to, young Henry?" "Ridgefield." "Ridgefield, my word. I've got a lot of young friends there to keep me busy come Christmas Eve. Some good, some not so good. But you've been a good boy this year, haven't you, Henry?" "Yes." "I think so too. Let's see." Father Christmas opened a small notebook and began ticking things off with a pen with tinsel wrapped around it. "Polite to old ladies, yes. Works hard at school, yes. Helping out mummy at home, yes. Kind to animals, yes. Well done, Henry. Well done indeed." "Thank you." "So," Father Christmas clapped his fur-gloved hands and rubbed them together, "what might your Christmas wish be then, young fellow me lad?" "Well," Henry swallowed, "I'd like the same wish as last year, please." "The same as last year?" "Yes." Fighting his nervousness, Henry plunged on. "You see, it didn't happen then. It didn't come true. So I thought I hadn't been good enough for that." "Very well." Father Christmas nodded. "Go on. Tell me your wish." Henry hesitated. "What's the matter?" "Well, if you're really Father Christmas, you'll know my wish. Because you'll remember. And if you aren't, then I can't tell you. Because if I tell somebody else, it won't come true." "If I'm really Father Christmas?" "Yes." "I see. You're testing me." The old man gave a low, oddly shadowy chuckle. "Don't worry, young Henry. I know what your wish is. You want your daddy to come back home. Isn't that right? To have your mummy and daddy back together again, like before." "Yes," Henry said. "And I've been good for a whole year. I've tried really hard. So I thought if I..." "You thought this time you'd get your wish, and everything would be like it used to be. A happy family again." "Yes." Father Christmas said nothing. Then, slowly, he shook his head. "What?" Henry said. "Have I still not been good enough?" "It doesn't work that way, Henry." "What do you mean?" "Oh, you can be good. And you have been good. But you could be as good could be, year upon year upon year. And it's all no use. You've given yourself away, my friend. You don't believe in me. And without that, you get nothing. But, well, that's not fair. Not fair, you say? Father Christmas sneered. It's not for you to make the rules. Who do you think you are? Well, that's... Henry felt his face prickling, hot with horror and disappointment. Then suddenly he was angry. You're a fake. Bloody fake. A fake? The old man laughed in his face. You come here. Oh, Father Christmas, I've been a good boy, you say. Because you think that way I'll grant you your wish. Don't you remember the words of the song? I know if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Good for goodness sake. Not because you want something. That's not really being good at all, is it? Do you imagine I don't see straight through it? It is you who are the fake. But I don't understand. Henry stepped back, afraid. You're supposed to love children. And children are supposed to believe! Father Christmas reached up and pulled off his pointed cap, and the sheepskin beard and white curls came away with it. The pale, scabbed, bald head, eyes goggling in wide, dark sockets, a fleshless jaw that lolled and clacked. Henry screamed. The figure rose. Its crimson robe billowed and hung on a body barely there. It came for him, drawing the gloves from its ancient hands, long, broken nails like old pewter, bright blood dribbling from the holes in its palms. Tell me, child! Tell me you believe! Henry screamed again and ran, tearing Tinseldown after him as he blundered back out through the doorway. Dimly he saw his grandmother's smile freeze and the elf's wide eyes, her mouth in an O of bewilderment, as he bolted past them. Henry? Henry, you come back here! Henry didn't even look. After the dark inside the gingerbread cottage, the light and colours of the shop half dazzled him, glittering and false. He ran clumsily down the stairs back to the ground floor, sobbing, dodging the irritated shoppers in his path, suddenly afraid of it all, the ruined magic, the music ringing out above him, the Christmas we get, we deserve. The promised gifts and parties, the last few days before Christmas, and over it all the rattlesnake clatter of approaching sleigh bells. Outside the shop, the darkness was gathering. He looked up and down the road, wishing he could go home, but he had no way of getting there on his own. He stood with his back against the display window, staring at the pavement and forcing himself not to cry. Everything was too much. He'd blown it, his one chance. His mother and father would never get back together again now. Never. And it was all his fault. Oh, Henry! Oh, my godfathers! His grandmother bustled out of the shop. Don't you ever frighten your poor old Nana like that again, running off like that. That's very naughty. He shook his head. Don't say that! I'm not naughty, I'm good! What on earth were you thinking? Why did you... He tried to tell her, but the words fell together into one another. He wasn't like what you think. Horrible. That skull face. Claws. What? Oh, Henry, stop it. Nana caught him by the shoulders and began to shake him. He felt himself losing the fight against his tears and began to shout at her, desperate to make her listen, to understand, but knowing it was no use, because grown-ups never did. Don't let him come, Nana. Keep him away. I'm a good boy. Let him come for the bad children. The bad children, not me. I'm a good boy. I'm good.